What's going on, everyone? This is Kevin here, coming at you with my review of the OnePlus 13. So without further ado, let's get started. So this is the OnePlus 13. Now this device recently launched, and as the name of the phone does imply, this phone is the successor to last year's OnePlus 12. Now going from the 12 to the 13 in some ways is just a bit of an evolution, but in other ways they've really made some very major differences here with this new generation of the device. So I'm looking forward to showing you all of that here in this video. Now for full disclosure, OnePlus was kind enough to send this phone out to me to cover here on the channel, but all opinions expressed in this video are completely my own. Now before getting too far into things here with the OnePlus 13, let's see what all comes included in the box. So the first thing we have here is this packet. We'll open this up and see what's in here. So we do have some literature, and in addition to that, we also have a USB OTG adapter. Then we're getting a USB-C cable for charging and data transfer, and then finally, we are getting a USB wall adapter. Now what's unique about this adapter is that you probably noticed it does have USB-A right there. But OnePlus actually had to do this to give us even faster charging than your typical fast charger. So this is a Super VOOC fast charger, and this charger allows the OnePlus 13 to recharge at up to 80 watts in the US. So 80 watt fast charging is extremely impressive. For example, the latest iPhone right now can charge it up to 30 watts, so this can charge way faster than the latest and greatest from Apple. And honestly, the fast charging really does make a big difference with this device. So the 80 watt fast charging is honestly one of the major selling points of this phone, and we'll be talking a little bit more about that later on in the video. Now with the OnePlus 13, we're getting a very large 6.82 inch display. But what makes this display especially unique is that it's actually curved on all sides. Now previously with OnePlus, we've had pretty dramatic curves on the left and right sides of the display, but this time around, the curve is a lot less, but instead, we're getting curves on all sides. So it's kind of hard to see here on camera, but basically the entire display raises up a little bit here, and it really gives us a very unique looking smartphone. Also with real life usage of this device, it feels really nice in the hand because you're not dealing with any sort of rough edges here. This display is LTPO AMOLED, and we are getting a 120Hz refresh rate here. Now it is a 2K display. We're getting a PPI 510. We're getting a 19.8:9 aspect ratio, so a more narrow but taller form factor here. So there are very small bezels all throughout here on the device, and overall it's just a very nice looking smartphone. Now up top here we do have a hole punch for the front facing camera, and stay tuned for later on in the video as I'll be showing you a bunch of different photo and video samples from the various cameras here on the device. Now right now OnePlus is running a very awesome promotion for the OnePlus 13. You can get this device for $899. But you can actually get double the amount of storage for that price. So I don't know how long this will be going until, but basically for $899, you can get 512 gigabytes of storage along with 16 gigabytes of RAM, compared to the regular base model of the device, which has 12 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigs of storage. So certainly if you are looking to get a OnePlus 13, now is probably a great time to get one, because they really are running a generous promotion for this device. And also on that note, there is no microSD card expansion with the OnePlus 13, which is to be expected, but that's yet another reason why it might make a lot of sense to go for that 512 gig model of the phone. Now with the OnePlus 13, there is wireless charging, but if you use their magnetic wireless charger, which you have to buy separately, then you can actually wirelessly charge this device at up to 50 watts, which is really incredible. So to use the magnetic charger, you do have to put a special case on the device. This case is sold separately by OnePlus. And then you also need to use the USB wall adapter that came with the phone as well as the cable. But basically, take all of this, plug in the adapter, plug in the cable, and then plug the cable into the magnetic charger. When you put this on the back of the device, so now with this on the back of the device, it is now wirelessly charging with this magnetic charger. And you can probably also hear the fan right now. So you can see the device is charging, and this magnetic charger is way faster than anything from Apple. So it's cool to see that OnePlus is really pushing the boundaries and limitations of magnetic charging, being the leader in this category. And then also with the OnePlus 13, we are getting an in-display fingerprint sensor, which is really fast because it is ultrasonic, and we're also getting Face Unlock with this device. Now taking a look at the cameras on the back of the phone, we are getting 3 cameras. We're getting a 50 megapixel main camera, a 50 megapixel ultra wide angle camera that can capture images at 120 degrees, and we're also getting a 50 megapixel periscope telephoto camera, which then gives us a 3x optical zoom. Now OnePlus has really put a lot of time and effort into making sure these cameras are very well optimized, and I've personally had a very good experience with them. So of course we have the main camera right here. Then from there you can go over to 0.6 to get that ultra wide camera. You can also go over to 3x for the optical zoom. And then of course, flipping around here, you can take selfies. There's a cropped out selfie mode as well, a little bit wider here. There's portrait mode, of course, too. And really just a lot of different options when it comes to the cameras here on this device. This phone really is packed full of camera features. And as far as video goes, this phone supports 8K video with the rear camera and then 4K with the front. But let's now take a look at some camera samples from the OnePlus 13. So I definitely was able to spend a lot of time with the various cameras on the OnePlus 13, and I've been very impressed by the results. Of course, this device is meant to be a flagship smartphone, so you shouldn't expect anything other than the best, but I feel like this phone definitely delivers when it comes to that. Now this time around with the OnePlus 13, AI plays a bigger role than ever, and definitely when it comes to photography, they are using AI to your benefit. I've noticed that after capturing a lot of these images, AI then goes to work to really clean things up, make the photos pop, and really make things look as good as they possibly can look. And I feel like in reality, it does actually live up to that. Now, even though this phone does have a 3x optical zoom, I also noticed that AI certainly came in handy with that zoom to really make those images look even better. Now, does the competition also have smartphones that take really good photos and videos? Absolutely, that's for sure. So the OnePlus 13 is certainly not unique when it comes to that. But at the same time, I do feel like the cameras on here are very competitive, and certainly for your typical consumer, they'll be more than happy with the results from the cameras on this device. But let's take a look at some video samples from the OnePlus 13. What's going on, everyone? This is Kevin here, coming at you with a 4K front-facing test video from the OnePlus 13. I'm definitely curious to know what you think about the video and audio quality. And here's a 4K test video using the main rear camera on the OnePlus 13. Now we are getting towards the end of the day, so there's a lot of intense sunlight from the sun setting, but also some heavy shadows. And as you can see here, the camera is doing a nice job balancing things out. This can definitely be very difficult for certain smartphones. And we have very fast autofocus in video mode, which is great. Now we're using the ultra-wide camera, and I appreciate that in the same video frame, you can switch between the various cameras here on the device. So with the ultra-wide, you can fit a lot more in a single frame here. And then finally, we have a 3x optical zoom. So we're now zoomed in with that 3x zoom. So we can get a lot more detail here on the grapefruit tree, in addition to the palm tree in the back. And then back to ultra wide. And then now back to the standard camera. OnePlus 13 comes in either 12 or 16 gigabytes of RAM, and in addition to that, the device does feature the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite processor. So that is the latest and greatest processor from Qualcomm, and when it comes to performance on this device, it certainly runs very well. Everything's super smooth, very well optimized as well, thanks to Oxygen OS with Android 15. I also appreciate too that thanks to the great software optimization, but also the 8 Elite processor, this device does not run hot at all, even when setting up the phone. It wasn't slow to start up, that whole process went very smoothly, and I definitely credit that to the processor. This phone does have a very large 6,000 mAh internal battery and 80 watt fast charging in the US. Also impressive with this phone is that we're getting not only IP68, but an IP69 rating. And what IP69 means is that this phone can take high water temperatures, but also high pressure jets. So if you're cooking soup, for example, and you drop this phone in the soup, it's not going to take out the whole phone. The phone will survive that. Also, if you go into the hot tub with your device, that's not a problem either. OnePlus even did a demo for us where they tested this phone in the dishwasher, and it also performed very well after that. So all of that is a result of this IP69 rating, which is unique to the OnePlus 13. And then with IP68, that means that the phone can go underwater for up to 1.5 meters for up to 30 minutes. So pretty typical for a flagship. This device also has NFC, and it also has an IR blaster up top here, so that you can use this phone to change the TV channel. Another unique feature about the OnePlus 13 is that we do have the volume slider here. So all the way at the bottom here is ring, moving it slightly up here switches it over to vibrate, and then all the way up to the top here is silent. And you can see that we're almost getting like a small dynamic island up here, which is actually kind of cool. But on the left side of the device, all we have is that slider. Then on the right side, we have the volume buttons up and down, and then we have the power button. Then up top here we have the noise canceling microphone and IR blaster. Then on the bottom of the phone, we have the slot for the SIM card, microphone, USB-C port for charging and data transfer, and the speaker. And of course, this phone does have stereo audio. And then on the back of the device, we have the camera module, flash, and that's pretty much it. We also have the OnePlus logo and Hasselblad logo, which is the photography company that they went into a partnership with for their cameras. Now I'm a big fan of this blue color for the OnePlus 13, and also this material feels very soft to the touch. So what's cool about OnePlus this time around is that this phone is offered in 3 different colors, but each color not only is different because it's a different color, but also the material is slightly different as well. Now I did do a short on this channel covering all of that, so certainly check that out. But in general, I really like the direction OnePlus went this time around with the various color configurations of their phones. And certainly this blue color especially pops. But I hope you enjoyed my review of the OnePlus 13. This phone is definitely an exciting one going into the new year here of 2025. It's very competitive, it's a nice improvement from last year's OnePlus 12, really just building upon the strengths of that device. And in general, it's certainly a phone that I do recommend. Now keep in mind though, that if you buy the phone sooner than later, you can save a lot of money by getting double the amount of storage for the same price. So that might be worth it to you, it just depends. But this concludes my video on the OnePlus 13. Hope you enjoyed the video. This is Kevin here, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care and have a great rest of your day.